Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to take a look at our NFL predictions with the Indianapolis Colts. And this team was kind of surprising. Now, this season had for the Colts had a lot of turns, roller coaster ups, downs all around. And you'll think it will be because of Anthony Richardson's growing pains as a rookie. Well, it wasn't. Gardner Minshew took most of the reins at quarterback, and for the most part, he handled it pretty well. And it was also headlined by Michael Pittman finally breaking out at wide receiver and getting him a nice little contract to stitch and to be awarded with. But this was the first year under head coach Shane Steichen, and the Colts ended up being a pretty lovable team. And there's another lovable team in the AFC South we're going to talk about in the future, but I was very impressed with what the Colts did. And look at their schedule. Okay, they did not get off to the best of starts. Well, they got a win over the Texans. Gardner Minshew got a win over the Ravens. They had a heartbreaking loss to the Rams, and they beat the Titans. But this will be the moment where Anthony Richardson, their rookie quarterback, was lost for the season due to a serious shoulder injury. And they lost 3 straight afterwards. But I will say that Week 7 game against the Browns, they shouldn't have lost. Ref ball got into the way. They rebounded against Carolina, won an ugly game against the Patriots in Germany, beating Tampa Bay at home, beating the Titans on the road, completing the sweep, ending a long losing streak to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which was, I believe, was their first win against the Steelers since 2008. And they beat the Raiders at Week 17 on New Year's Day. Now, some highlights. Minshew Mania strikes again. I feel like he is our new day of Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ever since Fitzpatrick retired, Gardner Minshew basically took his place and never looked back. Because whenever he steps on the field, the team finds a way to produce. And that's why I'm always going to be a fan of Gardner Minshew wherever he goes. I wish him nothing but the best in Raiderland. Michael Pittman, he finally broke out. He had a really good season, and he got a contract to show for it. Now, the lowlights. You always have to talk about the Anthony Richardson injury. He actually had 2 that year. He had a concussion during a Week 2 game against the Houston Texans, and then the shoulder injury that ended his rookie season early. And it was kind of a shame because I was looking forward to see how he was going to improve as the season went on, but we were robbed of that. And hopefully, now I heard he is healthy now. Hopefully he puts on some weight to prevent these injuries from happening. And then there's the drop. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Colts were 1 drop away of possibly winning the AFC South division. Just let that sink in. They were 1 drop away from winning the AFC South. But they dropped the ball. Texas won the game. Colts sat at home. But to be honest with you, the Colts exceeded most of their expectations, so they're not going to hawk too bad at the guy who did it. And that takes us to our additions and subtractions, and the Colts didn't do much of anything. And I feel like their offseason went really, really quiet for once. But they did lose Gardner Minshew to the Raiders, and they lost Zach Moss to the Bengals. I don't have much to say about the Colts offseason. But they did have one big acquisition in Joe Flacco. And when you look at the draft, they were the team that decided, you know what, let's end this whole offensive rain train and take care of a defensive player in Laiatu Latu out of UCLA. He was the first defensive player drafted in that draft. We also added Adonai Mitchell, took care of their wide receiver needs from the University of Texas. Also, he played for Georgia, and they said he fall due to character issues. We also added Matt Goncalves, our lineman from Tennessee. Anthony Gould from Oregon State, he could add some depth with the receiving room. And they took care of their secondary needs late in the draft by taking Jalen Simpson of Auburn and Micah Abram from Marshall. Honestly, don't know if they're going to make a day one impact, but if they get developed right, they could become something. But I'm curious of what the Colts going to look like this season, so let's take a look at their schedule. Okay, Indianapolis Colts. I'm just go through this very quickly. I already done their entire schedule. You see, I have them going 5-12, but let me go ahead and just go through all their games. Week one, losing to the beating the Texans week one to avenge a late season loss. Losing to the Packers on the road week two. As matter of fact, spoiler alert, I have the Colts losing every single road game this year. Week three, I have them beating the Bears. Week four, beating the Steelers at home. 3-1 start, not bad. But I have them doing the annual thing and losing at Jacksonville week five, losing to the Titans week six, but beating the Dolphins week seven somehow. Week eight, I have them losing to the Texans this time. Week nine, losing to the Vikings. Week 10, losing to the Bills. Week 11, losing to the Jets. That game is some reason on Sunday Night Football and is having a very tough flexing situation with that particular game. Week 12, losing to the Lions at home, losing to the Patriots on the road. Yikes. Then post bye week, losing to the Broncos week 15, beating the Titans week 16, losing to the Giants week 17, losing to Jacksonville week 18, which puts their record, as I already said, 5-12. So tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Gamble safely. I'll see you next time.